What do you see down there below you? What's the first impression that you get as you settle into the space? You can tell me.
Sensing a baseball stadium. There's a field with grass. No one's on it.
What else is around that field?
I'm walking around and it's empty. It's not supposed to be.
You said it's a stadium. Do you see structures?
I'm walking where the people are supposed to be.
But it's empty right now?
Yeah.
And where are they supposed to be?
There's seats.
Rows of seats? Is it a large stadium or small?
It's small.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
It's daytime.
What else do you see as you look around? There aren't any people there. Describe it. Things will clear up as you speak.
I'm having trouble seeing anything.
Field of green grass. It's daytime. No one's there. The stadium is empty. Talk through what you're seeing or sensing so I know what's happening.
I see the stadium and it keeps fading away. I am walking in the stands, and once I get to the front gate, I'm back where I was in the beginning.
What does the front gate look like?
It looks more like a window.
Something like glass?
Yeah, but it's open. It's more like a gateway. It's not locked.
Look down. Look down at your feet. What do you see as you sense things or see things? Trust the first impression that you get.
I'm barefoot.
Look at your legs, your arms. Rest your hands on your chest. What are you wearing? Do you sense clothes?
Yes.
What are they? What are you wearing? What's on your legs?
It keeps changing.
What feels most comfortable? Let it become clearer. What do you see?
My legs are free. It's like a dress.
What color is it?
It's a light color.
Is it flowy? Or is it fitted on you? How does it feel?
It's flowy. It feels free.
Look at your arms and your hands. Are you male or female?
Female.
Are you young or old?
I'm young.
Do you feel healthy?
I feel happy.
Do you see anyone else or anything else that you'd like to describe? When you looked at your hands, did you see any jewelry? Any ornaments?
No, I was simple.
Are you carrying anything?
Satchel?
You have a satchel with you? What does it look like? Get a sense of the colors or materials or any details. Can you describe the satchel?
It feels rough and worn.
Is it made of a fabric or a leather?
Fabric.
You can open that satchel. If you have it with you, it's because you're carrying something in it. Open it and reach inside. Put your hand inside the satchel. Feel around. And just pull out something that you placed in there. Something that's personal. It's yours. Pull your hand out of the satchel. And you're holding something. What do you see?
It's a hand mirror.
What does it look like?
It's got a long handle. Round, oval shaped mirror. The design around it it's got different shapes, like a metal.
Do you live nearby? You're barefoot on the field by yourself. In a light colored flowy dress. You have your satchel with you. Are you still barefoot?
Still barefoot.
Let's go to the place where you live. The place where you sleep and have your meals. Let's go to your home. And we're there now. Look at the outside of it. Describe it to me.
Like a wood cabin. It's a small cabin. There's 3 or others just like it in the area.
Neighbors right by it?
A community, yeah.
Is it a one-story cabin? You mentioned it was small.
Yeah, 1 story.
Does it have windows? What do you see? Look at its details. Small wood cabin. What else do you notice about it? Are there any details on the front of the home?
It keeps changing. There's dirt, dead grass in the front. There's a birdhouse hanging on the porch.
A little birdhouse? What does the porch look like?
It's unfinished. I think my dad's still working on it. It's not going to be finished. He always says he's going to work on it.
But he hasn't gotten to finishing it?
No.
Is he very busy? Let's go inside the home. We'll see if he's there. We'll see who's home. First, we're going to push the door open. Let's go inside first and get a sense of this home. You've been to many times before. You have a lot of memories in this home. You've gone through the front door, and then you're inside. Describe the interior. What do you see?
It's blank. I hear the door open and there's nothing. It's like it just falls off.
You can go back outside for a while. Stay on the porch. Hang out by the door outside. Are there any chairs out there?
There's a rocking chair and a broken chair.
A rocking chair and a broken one. And sit in the rocking chair for a moment, outside of the front of your home. You can look at the birdhouse if you want to, or the unfinished porch. Do you still have your satchel with you?
Yeah.
Do you still see the other cabins around? The ones that look just like yours?
They're still there.
But yours is different. It's your home. Is it still daytime?
Yes.
Is there anything else out front? You mentioned that the grass is dead. Anything else you see or sense out there that gets your attention? See any vehicles? Get a sense of how people get around?
This place feels like my cave. When I look around, there's nothing there, and it's a similar interaction. So there's the cabin, and if I look out, it's just the ground that keeps going on, but there's nothing on it.
That's okay. If there's nothing on it, there's nothing important to see. Turn your attention back to your home. Let's try to go inside again. Go up to your front door. Describe it. What does your front door look like?
It started out as wood, like rotted wood, but then it turned into a worn out door.
Bit worn out?
Like a flat door with structure, whereas before it was just stacked wood.
Now you see your front door. Hold onto the doorknob. You push that door open many times. Today is just like any other day. Just push the door open. And go inside. And you're inside now. What do you see?
I don't want to go inside.
That's okay.
I feel like I know what I'm going to see, and I don't want to see it.
And stay outside. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Do you want to stay outside instead? Or do you want to face what's inside the home?
I want to face it.
Whatever has already happened. You're just viewing it as an observer. To understand that life, there's important information there that can help you. You can go inside when you're ready, and you'll view it as an observer. Observe it so you can describe what's happening. You don't have to feel anything. You won't have any physical sensations. You can talk about it and explain what's happening.
I'm clenching up. I'm afraid of who's in there. I'm still not able to see it.
Well, they don't have to be in there on that day. You can go inside, and on that day, whatever's making you feel fear or trepidation isn't inside.
There's a big rug in the front room. It's a red rug. I really liked it.
You like the color?
It's very bright, vibrant red.
Very bright. What else do you see?
There's a fireplace. There's a dining table to the right. Coffee table beside the rug.
Is there a place to sit in that room?
No.
What's on the walls? Do you see anything on the walls?
Family pictures, but they're scratched out or broken.
Are they the only thing in the home that's in disarray?
The coffee table shouldn't be to the side.
Or should it be?
It was in the center of the room on top of the rug.
You've had many meals in this home with your family. Let's go to the dining room. Do you have a sense of what's happened in this home? What caused the photos to be scratched and broken and the table to be moved? It's okay.
My mom's on the dining table.
It's okay. You're viewing this as an observer. The feelings that you have will be put aside. In 1, 2, 3. Let the feelings go. You're safe. You're safe. Is she okay? You said you saw your mother at the table.
She's face down on the table.
Is there anyone else in the home?
It's. I saw it as a one-story cabin, but there's stairs. That's confusing.
There's new information. That happens. It's okay. Is your mother okay?
No,
What's happened to her?
it keeps changing. There's a there's a knife in her back, and then it's a hammer, and then she's just bleeding from the neck. But every time she's still there.
Is there anything else you see or sense in that scene that you would like to describe?
I don't see anything else.
The woman will be okay. What's happened has happened. We'll leave that scene. We'll leave your home to an important day. Let's move to an important day, a day that you consider to be important when something is happening. And we've now moved forward to an important day. And we're there now. What is happening? What do you see?
It's my wedding day.
How are you feeling?
Like it's finally happening.
You excited?
Yeah.
It's a day of celebration. Where are you on your wedding day?
With my bridesmaids.
Is it before the ceremony?
Yeah, they're gifting me things.
What are they gifting you?
An ankle bracelet.
It's nice to receive all those gifts from your bridesmaids on that special day. Sounds like you've been waiting a long time for that day. What else do you see as you look around?
I can only see when I look down.
And what do you see when you look down?
I'm wearing shoes that don't match my dress.
What do they look like? What color are they?
They're orange.
And your dress, what color is it?
It's all white with different shades of white.
And you picked those shoes for that day. They look so different from your dress. How do you feel when you see the shoes, your orange shoes?
I feel like I'm me. I feel like I wanted my dress to be orange, but I couldn't have my way. But I made my way with my orange shoes. The girls joke about it.
And what do they say when they joke?
They didn't think I would do it, but they knew if anyone was going to do it, it'd be me.
It sounds like you're daring.
They call me the stubborn one.
You're opening gifts, enjoying your orange shoes. It's finally happening, your wedding day. Is there anything else that you see or sense there that you'd like to tell me about?
I see an open area where the wedding's taking place, but it's so abstract.
You're in that room on that day. That's your special moment. Before you go down the aisle, you're there with the bridesmaids. And they're your friends?
Yeah, very close.
How many of them are there?
3 of them.
What color are their dresses?
Purple.
Is everyone smiling?
I can't see their faces.
You mostly see your shoes?
Yeah.
They bright orange?
I guess I describe them as matte orange. Not bright, but they're beautiful, solid.
It's a day of celebration. You got to express yourself and you got your way in some way. Because you're stubborn. You didn't get the orange dress, but the orange shoes are there. You were able to express yourself in a way that you wanted to on that day. Day you're excited about. We're going to leave that scene now. Let's move forward to another important day in the life that you're viewing. A day that you consider to be important. When something is happening. And we're there now. What is happening? What do you see?
I'm running in the field. I have 2 kids.
How do you feel running through the field?
It feels free. I feel now that I wasn't ever supposed to be on the field.
What do you mean?
I'm telling the kids they can be on the field whenever they want.
Are they having fun?
Yeah, they're
How old are they?
can't be older than 5, 6.
They're little kids. Are they girls or boys?
A girl and a boy.
They're running with mom on the field?
Yeah, she's a spark plug. She's tackling the little boy.
What does he do when he gets tackled?
He's just giggling.
You're watching them play?
Yeah.
It's a good day?
Yeah.
And this field, is this some kind of farm? What is this field? Get a sense of where you are and how you got into that fun situation. You said they're not supposed to be on that field, but they can. They can have fun. What is this field? You can talk about it.
I don't have any answer to that.
You're just having fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you see or sense on that fun day playing in the field with your two kids, the girl and the boy? What are you feeling?
I feel like I can finally breathe, like I'm safe, like nothing bad has to happen.
It's a wonderful feeling. You're safe now with two children you love.
Nothing bad has to happen.
Feelings of peace and safety. Nothing bad has to happen. She's safe now. She's happy. And she can continue to enjoy that moment. Let's move forward to another important day. A day that you consider to be important. When something is happening, and we've now moved forward to an important day, and we're there now. What is happening? What do you see?
I'm in bed.
You're in bed? Go on. How are you feeling in bed?
I'm not well.
You're in your home?
Yeah.
Look at your arms and your hands. Get a sense of how old you are and how much time has passed.
Could be early 70s.
Oh, a lot of time has passed since your children were little. What are you feeling? You won't feel it in your body. Just get a sense of what happened on that day and what got you into that situation where you're not feeling well. What do you think's wrong?
I'm sick. My chest is filling with fluids.
You won't feel any tension in your body. Any tension you have will be released. You're watching as an observer, getting a sense of the day. Is anyone with you?
My whole family.
Why are they all there?
It's a holiday.
They're there to celebrate the holiday,
They came to celebrate it with me.
to spend time with you.
I never get to see all of them together.
And they're all together with you on that day. They've all come together to spend time with you.
Yeah.
How do you feel as you look at them?
I don't feel like I wasted my life.
You have a lot of good memories. Do you get a sense that's your last day?
I'm ready to go. I miss my mom. I miss her. I'm ready to go.
And you'll pass through that life in 3, 2, 1. Pass through that life, and you're on the other side of it now. You're on the other side of it. Releasing all tension. Free and relaxed. Whatever has happened has already happened. You can see the entire life from where you are. You can see the entire perspective. And from that position, you can look back at the entire life from a different perspective. And every life has a purpose, and every life has a lesson. What would you say is a lesson of that life? What did you learn?
I'm strong enough to get through anything.
Because of what you saw when you were a little girl, what you experienced. Every life has a purpose. What was the purpose of that lifetime? What was the goal?
My family.
Tell me more.
I had to start over. I created something out of nothing, it felt like.
You lost your family and had to create your own beautiful family. Now let's drift away from that life. We're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving the woman there to continue her own journey. She will find peace. She will find what she is supposed to find. Now staying relaxed, staying adrift. I want all of the subconsciousness and personality of Derek to once again return to the body and fully integrate back into the body. May I speak to Derek's subconscious, please? May I speak to Derek's subconscious?
You rang?
Yes. I have permission to speak to Derek's subconscious.
You have that which you seek.
I respect the power of the subconscious because I know the subconscious takes care of Derek's body. and does a very good job of it. I also know that the subconscious has the records of everything that has ever happened to Derek in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes he has ever lived. So I respect the power of the subconscious, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permission to ask questions?
You have the trust.
I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Derek to see today. You chose to bring forward this lifetime for him to see. Why did you pick that lifetime?
Some things are meant to be seen and some things are not.
What does that mean? Some things are meant to be seen and some things are not. That's why you chose to present that lifetime to Derek today. What does that mean? Can you explain?
He is misguided. He's fighting back. He doesn't want to hear it.
Is it something that would benefit him?
He still acts on impulse and hides it as synchronicity.
And are these impulses misguiding him?
Not in any way that would be described as negative.
Is it concerning for him?
No, he is loved and protected. But because of this, there are some things that cannot be seen and some things that can.
And is that why that girl did not want to see what was in that home?
Another form of protection.
And is that why in this life Derek doesn't remember things from his childhood?
When things are meant to be revealed, they will be revealed.
He wanted to know why he doesn't remember most anything from before he was in the 5th grade. Is there a reason why? You mentioned protection and all in due time. Is that what you were referring to? We're trying to give him information that can help him. So anything that you feel can benefit him to help him understand could help him. Is there anything you would like to share with him regarding his spotty memory? Do you want to move on to the next question?
Yes, another prompt would be appreciated.
You mentioned he is guided or protected in this life. He's had some incidents where he will seem to have the right people and communities come through when he needs a bridge to carry him through after difficult experiences. Is that what you mean by guided and protected? Are those people and communities intentionally placed on his path?
There is a divine protection. He needs to trust the voice.
Which voice?
His voice. The one you're speaking to now.
His subconscious?
We're not one for labels, but it is his voice, his language.
And when you say his voice, is this the new voice he's been in touch with the last few years?
Yes, we are one, we are everything, and we are nothing.
So the guidance that he gets, is it a facet of Derek? It's part of who he is?
He is a part of us, and we are a part of him. It was a claiming of the worthiness.
Have you always been a part of him?
Some questions are unanswerable.
Well, after his spiritual awakening, he felt more connected to these communications. And it seems like he's part of a divine protection that will help guide him on his path and help keep him safe. There was a moment in his life where he had some missing time. He was driving in Las Vegas at 1 a.m. and he fell asleep, and when he woke up and came to, he was going in the opposite direction at 4 a.m. 3 hours had passed. What happened to him? What happened during that time? He couldn't have been driving those 3 hours.
Divine timing is a funny thing. His path is your path is his path. All must happen as it's meant to be. It's not written in stone, but it
what?
No truth is written in stone, but it's best understood as a high probability. All must be agreed to in free will, not just Derek, but those around him.
All of those around him, or anyone in particular?
If one does not agree, then another will be activated, and they will agree. If they do not agree, then another will be activated. It is them who must agree. This is free will. You're all called to something special, something that's been meaning to happen for ages. You are all more special than you know, more loved than you will ever realize in this life.
And what makes us so special?
There is a narrative at play that connects all lives.
When you say all lives, what do you mean by all lives? They're human lives.
We call it children of Earth. All beings, ethereal, physical, material.
So the children of Earth includes material beings. The children of Earth also includes ethereal beings.
Yes, all beings, all children, all one.
If they're all the children, then who would be considered the parent?
Conceptual understanding would be spheres, living spheres, a hierarchy, but not one with judgment, but a hierarchy in discernment.
Is a sphere independent of the children?
A sphere is within the children and without the children, above the children, below the children.
And does a sphere have other children aside from Earth children?
Some questions are meant to be experienced before answered. Questions are answered by other questions.
Questions are important.
Very.
Is there a question we should ask to help Derek that we haven't asked yet?
Sometimes he thinks we're too silly. He holds back. But we have a fun question.
Okay. What's a fun question?
It's a question to an ancient answer. How old will Derek be on the dawn of the spring equinox, 2026?
What's the answer?
It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. We are humorous.
When you said that there is something to happen, that we've all been called, and something is going to happen for the ages, what did you mean by that?
There is a nexus point, all timelines converging. Some call it apotheosis, revelation, full disclosure, enlightenment.
And what does that look like when all timelines converge? The nexus. What would that look like for Derek?
Experience, love, walking with the children, protection, failure, tears, heartache, success, celebration.
Sounds like a lot will happen. A lot of changes.
A lot of experience.
Is there anything Derek should do to prepare?
He's prepared. He'll never feel ready, but everyone's in their place. All that's ready to happen is prepared. Some will agree to their purpose, others will not.
Why wouldn't someone agree? Sounds like a wonderful experience of love.
Some agreements are like a doorway with a flame. The love is on the other side, but they must take the leap. If they do not take the leap, they are still loved the same.
And what does a leap look like?
Trust. Love in yourself. Love yourself enough to do the work. Meet us halfway. Love yourself enough to know that other is self, and you love other as self. That is the only way to love one.
So Derek had his spiritual awakening 3 years ago. And this seems like it will all be happening soon.
Soon is a funny word. We use it often. It's silly.
Because it's relative?
Very. Time works differently for us. For instance, we can tell someone why something happened, or we can tell someone that something is about to happen. Both are true, But if we tell them before it happens, it's magical. If we tell them after, it's subjective. Silly how time works.
I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell me about? Perhaps there's a question I haven't asked.
You are loved more than you know. The children of many kinds are rooting you on. The human epic is unfolding. What a time to be alive.
Thank you for that. Before we go, do you have a message for Derek?
Some messages in his head, some voices throw hands. It's time he threw them back. Tell him not to be so hard on himself. He's doing great.
I want to thank the subconscious mind for the answers it has given. Thank you. Now I'm asking the subconscious to recede to where it belongs, with much love and much thanks for the help and information it has been giving Derek today. I know he is really going to appreciate it, and I want the entities from the other lives that we were speaking with to also recede into the past, to the time where they belong, with much love and much thanks for the information they have given us. And remember, the things you are watching are from the past. They belong in the past, and we will leave them in the past. We only brought them forward as a curiosity to learn from. Now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Derek to once again return and fully integrate back into the body completely. 9, 10, wide awake, feeling wonderful, all over, wide awake. Right, how long do you think that was?
A couple lifetimes?
It was indeed. Yeah, you went through a whole lifetime there.
Yeah.
Do you remember most of it?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I was worried that you wouldn't be able to go too deep because of all the noise and distractions.
Mhm.
And at first, it seemed like you were having a difficult time settling in.
Yeah, it was tough because I was trying, and it wasn't the distractions, it wasn't the sound or anything because I can zone that out. There were times where I just went like silent because I was waiting for something to come in,
Yeah,
and I
that's
didn't want
the
to.
best thing to
Yeah,
do.
I didn't want to force it, so I was just waiting, and I was fighting the frustration of like, why isn't anything happening? And but it was interesting because while I was going through the visuals, like I could only see certain things. Like it was almost like a video game where you can't render anything
Yeah.
far, and so it's like you're like turn this way, and I was like, but there's nothing there. It's like okay, turn it again. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because most people are like that. Some people, are super rare, drop in to the Renaissance Fair and they're like, "Wow, super rare."
What's this? What's this? What's this?
I know,
Yeah.
that's super. But usually they'll take a while too. Like they'll be quiet and then it'll unfold and then boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And most is just settling into the now, and then it starts to render more and more, and you start to get a sense of it. But yeah, I think that the way you progress, just letting it do its own thing naturally, was kind of the best way you can.
Yeah.
To just let it kind of unravel and get a sense of
Okay.
feeling your way through. So you went pretty deep, and it seemed like you really got in touch with the girl in the past life that you were and her experience. You're really there.
Yeah, I think it was the feelings that were stronger than the actual visuals.
Yeah. I'm probably like that as well. I haven't done mine yet, but when I do meditations, like at Monroe, one girl in my group was like so visual, like so visual.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sober?
Right. And it's when I talk to my friends that can actually see things, like I have a friend that does tarot and like she sees things like a movie. I'm so fascinated. I'm like, that's so cool. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you. But it's because I get nothing like that.
Yeah, some people are super
Yeah.
visual. And then I was having actually trouble at Monroe until I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let myself feel
Mm-hmm.
through. And then once I started feeling, like the visuals, like I'm not seeing, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like through the feeling, seeing. It's like kind
Yeah.
of connected in that weird way. But yeah, so it's whatever makes sense for you and your experience, kind of feeling your way through it. That's always the
Yeah.
best thing. I could understand why nothing wanted to render when you were first in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're
Yeah, it
walking
was really
into
weird because I'd open it and there's just like nothing.
no.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. And when you opened the door, did you feel like there was something terrible in there, and you're like,
I
oh,
was
or
I was
not
asking
yet?
myself why. Why is like
Nothing showing
why?
up.
And then I started to feel it, and that's when I said I feel like I don't want to. I know what's in there, but I don't want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it started
Mm-hmm.
happening. I think when
Yeah.
I started acknowledging, like I feel it. I think that was the growth process. It was like I needed to feel it and not necessarily like describe it or explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once I felt it, I was like, oh, I know what I'm feeling, and I know what I is almost like let me describe it instead of trying to see it and describe it, kind of thing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. So we go to the house, and you go to the second day, and it was an interesting life because I mean, at the end, you said you basically had to rebuild your whole family.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you lost your entire family
Mm-hmm.
with the tragedy. Was it a big family? You said you can see photos on the wall, the family that were like
It was a
scratched.
small
A
family.
small
Yeah.
family. Yeah. And when you're going through those feelings and emotions, it's important to process them.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes in it there's like a trauma there that needs to be processed, or just the emotion
Mm-hmm.
that you need to go through to experience it. So I didn't want to leave you feeling it too long, though. That's kind of
Right.
unnecessary. So I wanted to distance you from that so you could just observe it as
Mm-hmm.
much as possible. Are you feeling okay now? Do you feel
Yeah.
any tensions? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm grateful for is like when I do go through these like intense emotions, it just dissipates and it goes out, and like none of it's like stuck or like lingering.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So the lesson in that life, I tried to ask again for the lesson and the purpose, and that came through pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she had that traumatic childhood, and the lesson was just rebuilding after an event that, in that life, just kind of wipe anyone out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're kind of parallels. I mean, in this life, your experience of going through your spiritual awakening, where it's just like that's a wipeout in
Mm-hmm.
itself. Where like, you feel like you need to
Yeah.
start, be strong, and
Mm-hmm.
start all over again.
Yeah.
And it is after awakening, you do have to start a new life because
Mm-hmm.
your
That's what
older
it feels
self.
like. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't drink anymore. I'm a vegetarian now. My relationship with my parents is better than it's ever been.
That's wonderful.
Like it's a whole new like I'm single again, and then it's like just being more empowered to love myself and
Yeah.
travel the world on my own,
Oh,
and
good.
yeah, it's like a whole new life. It's night and day, like different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that you were able to reconcile and like reintegrate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the hardest thing when people have spiritual awakenings. And when you were talking earlier, like I'm happy you mentioned the Messiah complex because
Mm-hmm.
everyone has that with the spiritual awakening because it's
Yeah.
like it feels so big,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I gotta tell. What am I supposed to do with this?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Am
Yeah.
I supposed to tell people?
It's like being overwhelmed with insight, and it's
Yeah,
like, oh, like
yeah,
this has to come out now.
yeah. Where do you put it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of it, and then getting over that,
Mm-hmm.
but still understanding that there's importance to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not all on one person's shoulders.
Right.
You know. So I think once we got to the subconscious mind, there were a lot of insights in there. I'm happy you had your audio recording too.
Mm-hmm.
I have this one which I'll send you, but that one there were a lot of really good messages. Your subconscious, though, naturally, I think when we get to those higher levels of consciousness, they're
Mm-hmm.
very evasive with certain questions.
Uh-huh.
And it's like you just like weren't answering. And I was like, is he rendering an answer?
Yeah.
But you have to respect the limitations. So
Mm-hmm.
you know it's said that the reason that it showed you that life, it
Mm-hmm.
shows that life, was an understanding of some things are meant to stay hidden and some
Mm-hmm.
things are meant to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we have the lessons that we're taking from something, we don't need to dig into every little detail.
Right.
It's just like going through the past life.
Mm-hmm.
What at the end of it all was the most important of any experience is what did I learn from this?
Right.
You know, it's not like nitty gritty details,
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other. It's what you take away and the growth that comes from it after. So that's really so. I thought it was interesting that you mentioned that. So then I asked about you're not having the memory fifth grade and before,
Mm-hmm.
and it said all in due time. and it did not want to answer that
Mm-hmm.
at all. So it said in time,
Mm-hmm.
if there's something you need to remember, you'll remember it. So either, you know, you can take what you want from that, but it seems that at this point, those memories aren't really necessary for what's happening and the growth that's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's a bandwidth thing or a walk-in thing or
Right.
a traumatic, whatever the case is,
Mm-hmm.
if there is something there, it will be revealed.
Right.
That being said, I asked about the missing time.
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to ask anything.
Yeah.
But something happened. Clearly,
Right.
something
Yeah.
happened. I had a really interesting response where I started to speak in a way that they have this way of speaking that is kind of like poetic, but it's also kind of like. Did you ever read it? Did you ever read Harry Potter when Dumbledore speaks? You're like, Dumbledore, what are you trying to say? You have to like finish everything you say.
Okay,
and
yeah.
You're like, okay, now I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Do you remember the subconscious mind and what it was trying to communicate at that time?
I'm starting to forget what was said, but I was there, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. You'll forget. So the
Yeah.
recording's important. So there were some really great messages around. There were the ones that really. There were the personal ones I tried to ask because they're the bigger questions we could ask to try to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's happening? What does this all mean? What does it all work? But the most important thing is kind of bringing it back to like, well, what does that mean for Derek?
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like for him? You know, and the answers are really kind of big, but it seemed like the message for you is you're doing everything that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the work that you need to do. And, you know, with a great relationship with your parents, finding yourself and that, you know, love for yourself again, that's all part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all a really big part of it because it seemed like they had to say, you're on the right path. But as far as who it is, your subconscious mind, what it is, I try to flesh that out a bit more because your subconscious mind, and I like what they said. We don't like to put labels on it. What is it even?
Yeah.
We call it subconscious mind. We can call it the oversoul. We can call it the higher self.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger point is that there's a conscious mind and there's something deeper that's operating
Mm-hmm.
that's more connected with the soul. And the soul, I don't know how close the connection is, how much the overlap is, if it's the same thing.
Right.
I don't think it's the same. It's more like the iteration closest to Derek, whereas the soul is more connected to the all lives
Mm-hmm.
that are happening simultaneously.
Right.
And our conscious mind, like what happened with your spiritual awakening,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's when we poke in,
Right.
and they're like, "Hey, you're supposed to be here."
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It could be a lot because it's processing a whole other reality, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the shattering feeling of
Right.
like, what the did I just experience?
Yeah.
We feel like we're losing our mind. But it seemed like for it to happen to you as long as it did with the level of experience and the layers happening, the message was that it was sort of a test. I don't know if test is even the right word, but it was basically a total recalibration of self for
Mm-hmm.
you that had to happen over a longer period of time. And that what I got from it in the test thing was that there were a lot of layers that had to go. You had
Mm-hmm.
to go through to peel off to get to where you are now.
Right.
And a lot of it is, I like to compare it to the caterpillar in the cocoon. Do you know about the imaginal cells in the imago?
No.
So a caterpillar has in it these cells that are called the imaginal cells. And those cells essentially exist so that it can have its afterlife as the butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
And they exist so that when it's in the cocoon, it's an absolute rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Because those cells act as a way to completely deconstruct and decompose the body of the caterpillar.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially becomes like slime in there.
Right.
There's nothing to it. So it could completely reconstitute itself as the butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's such a beautiful spiritual analogy. Because
Right.
when these things happen, it's like death.
Right.
It's like we're totally pulled apart and we feel like, what do I even,
Mm-hmm.
who am I? How do I even, all those
Well,
questions come out
yeah.
while we're struggling out. So it was saying that it is part of you. It is a part of the voices, the channeling experience, the voices that you're hearing, because that's kind of how it has to work.
Mm-hmm.
It has to work through us to get to us, right? And it's using our mind, our experiences, our vocabulary, those all, it's the images, the symbols, the words, which is why I like this process. It's using the images, symbols, and the words to reconstitute a reality to then interface with you.
Mm-hmm.
So they were essentially saying that that is, they are, or it is, whatever this other thing is that's connecting with you, is part of you. And I asked, have you always been part of him?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you had the spiritual awakening. Was this a matter of, hey, you're with us now, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Did not want to answer that. But it is part of you now. It did go on to say, though, and I love that it brought this up, because I got this myself after the experiences I had.
Mm-hmm.
The sense that this thing that's happening, it's happening to a lot of people, and the thing of free will came in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to the person. It's like an activation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if one does not respond to that call to action,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't want to say the impulse, or just the thing that's driving us to do something,
the inspiration,
then another will be activated. So it's almost like there's so many of us who are, is it the sleeper cell? Is that the right word? I don't know. Well, I got a sense that there's like this call to action, and that it's in a lot of us.
Right.
And we can see this with more people having, spiritual experiences, sharing it, or more people. It's not necessarily a huge spiritual awakening, but they're being drawn to something. It's happening in different degrees to many people.
Okay.
That it's in us, and people are being activated, and it's up to the person to answer the call for certain events, because it said a narrative is forming.
Okay.
Right. And if the call isn't answered, they said something. I remember Chris saying something similar with the lady.
Okay.
She's like, we have gone to others, and now we've come to you.
Oh, I never heard that before.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's in the Regression.
Okay.
I've read that like 5,000
times. Okay. Well, it's your work.
Well, especially the big thing with my work that I'm doing now is a research on. There's two things going on. The research with the creator beings. So they're like 5 really amazing experiences where there's these messages that they're conveying. I'm trying to understand their role, the guardians, the creator beings. But then also experiencers like you, where it's like something happened, some kind of activation, and we're plugged into something. We're like recalibrated.
Right.
And then we have to go through this transformation and then integrate back into this life. We have to find a way, as you did.
Yeah.
And some other of our peers in the Discord have, after this crazy traumatizing experience, they find a way to integrate back into this. It's like fast-track human development. The most important thing is the integration. And the integration is pulling back from the Messiah complex and saying, first, am I loving my mother and father the right way enough? That's a big one.
Yeah.
The people around us in our family, who it's easy to turn our back on when we're like, oh, I have ambitions, I gotta save the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. This world's the most important one right here. So, they said that there's a narrative that's going on. So with the lady, what she said to Chris was something like that, like, we have come to others before you, we've come to you now. If you don't answer this call, then it may be too late. Meaning maybe there's another one, but they're running out of options.
Right. Yeah. Like, we've delegated enough. Someone say yes.
But yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So it was a similar thing with what your connection was trying to convey, where, and then there was this bridge of, it's not just Derek, it's you as well. It's all of us. There's just like kind of with the experience that you're having with the arcs, that there's all this like overlapping that's playing out. So I think you're really going to like listening to that.
Okay.
You're really going to like it. But I kept trying to bring it back to you and what that means for you. And the big takeaway there is you're good. You're in a good place. You worked through everything you needed to work through on your fast track to spiritual development.
Right. It's a crash course. Yeah.
Your crash course, your boot camp.
Yeah.
You came with a boot camp. And you're in a really good place. So that was a really good takeaway.
Okay. And you've done this with a lot of Omis recently?
Yeah, I've done a lot of Omis. A pretty good amount. I've had a pretty good amount of them sign up for it, and it's been cool because it's a spiritual group.
Right.
So coming into it, I know that they're already exploring the idea of being connected to these other things. I definitely wanted to do it to get as much experience as I could to understand the process. Because when I first looked into QHHT, I was like, what is this? Like, what's going on? So I wanted to like look behind the curtain and
Mm-hmm.
understand like how
Right.
does the process actually work. And through the methods and technique and like refining technique, it has a lot of overlap with what I'm doing with guided meditations
Mm-hmm.
with the Institute for the Awakened Mind. It is so similar.
Okay.
You know, it's called hypnosis, and there's some things in there. Same thing with guided meditation. It uses some hypnosis techniques. The whole point is to get someone to an altered state,
Mm-hmm.
and once they're in that altered state, to give them the freedom to explore and go on a journey to go where they need to go with their experience to get something important from it. That's like the whole, that should be the whole point of the experience. This is a really cool convergence. I think people put a lot of pressure on themselves.
Right.
Like, what is this going to be like?
Yeah.
And then they start doubting and doubting. And then
Right.
going into it, they're so tense. They're like, I just got to make up random shit. No, the imagination is a space. It's a beautiful space.
Mm-hmm.
It can be dark if people take it there,
Right.
or sometimes if we're going through a dark point, it's inevitably
Uh-huh.
going to end up there
Right.
if we have stuff to process,
It's
right?
like sitting in grief too long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's a beautiful space. It's the same space as a dream space, where we go every night. And that dream space and these altered states that we can kind of put ourselves in,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a canvas. It's a it's a space where if we are open to the subtle influences and we just let the ride happen without questioning it too much, we can get so many amazing like insights and feelings. It's just like relief. Those feelings of love can come through
Mm-hmm.
that we don't let ourselves experience, and those discoveries that we don't let ourselves complete thoughts in the daytime sometimes because we're scared to.
Yeah.
They're distractions, but it's also scary to
Mm-hmm.
find an answer because then we can't hide anymore.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
answer. So it's a really nice space to explore,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny the way time works, non-linear, right?
Mm-hmm.
How that life was in the past, yeah, but in all time, that life could be informing and affecting your life or your life
Mm-hmm.
retroactively, right?
Right.
Could be affecting and informing that life. It works in a kind of a funny, interesting way,
Right.
you know.